call the honourable member for Dobell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
There'll be silence on my left and right. The member for Gellibrand will put it in the proper way. The member for Dobell has the call.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. Will the minister update the House on the importance of the government's turn-back policy in ending people's smuggling trade and securing the nation's borders? And what are the consequences of an inconsistent approach to this issue?
I call the Honourable Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the honourable member for Dobell because, on behalf of her constituents, she is in here in this parliament every day fighting on their behalf, and she strongly supports the government's work in relation to Operation Sovereign Borders. Now, Madam Speaker, as we've said before, as the Australian people recognise, when Labor were in government, over 50,000 people on 800 boats arrived into our country, and Labor completely and utterly lost control of our borders. One of the main reasons, Madam Speaker, that we have been so successful is because we've been able to turn back boats where it is safe to do so. And we have made that point repeatedly because it is an integral part of the success we've been able to achieve under Operation Sovereign Borders. Now, when Kevin Rudd came into government in 2007, there were only 4 people in detention, including no children. I'm coming to the member for Fremantle in just a moment. Now, 4 people, no children. When Labor were in government, they turned that into a situation where almost 2,000 children were in detention, which was a shameful outcome. But in addition to that, 1,200 people drowned at sea. Now, for many years, Labor, under this opposition leader and his predecessors, have said before elections, hand on heart, Labor leaders have said, we will adopt turnbacks. We will stop the boats. When they get into government, they abandon every attempt to stop the boats. Why? Because they are dictated to by people like the member for Sydney. Now, I see a media report today which talks about Labor to turn back boats. And I looked at the words of what Bill Shorten's alleged to have said, the Leader of the Opposition's alleged to have said. You know, there's an eerie, similar sort of parallel to be drawn with words that Kevin Rudd said in 2007. Kevin Rudd said, of course, that he would stop boats. You know, the Labor government would turn back boats where it was safe to do so, and people actually believed him. But, you know, the irony, of course, is now that Kevin Rudd was a more trustworthy person than Bill Shorten. That's how history now turns out, and how ironic it is that he sits here looking befuddled on a regular basis about what to do with boats. He has the national conference coming up, and he says that he's going to stare down the left, including members opposite, including the member for Fremantle. I'm going to come to some quotes in a number of questions on this topic, because it is a very important topic in the run-up to the next election. Because if the Labor Party says before the election that they are going to adopt the coalition's successful turn-back policy, don't believe a word that they say. Labor presided over a complete mess when it came to border protection, and as all Australians know, if you can't control your borders, you cannot control national security, and that's the problem with this Leader of the Opposition.